Okay, so everything is recording. Welcome to the class. It's very pleasant to see everyone. And today I will tell you a little bit just introduction about NeuroGraphica method, how it's working, and we will learn some basic elements and basic steps. And we will do some drawing at the end, so you will have a chance to experience what we are talking about and how it's really may help you to release your stress, change your perceptions, change your patterns, and really move forward, like to learn something new and beautiful. We have more people coming, so welcome to the class. It's always pleasant to see people from all around the world. So welcome, Brenda.
Hi, Anna.
Hello. So let me briefly introduce myself for those who doesn't know me. So my name is Anna Romanenko. I'm Russian. I was born and raised in Russia, in Siberia. Moved to US about 19 years ago. In August will be exactly 19 years. And it's my home in Seattle area. And it's a very beautiful place to live, to work, to raise your kids. So just yesterday we went to a very beautiful hike. And if you want to know more about our beautiful state, go to my Instagram account. You will see many beautiful pictures. So today we are going to learn about NeuroGraphica. What is this NeuroGraphica? Very long and very strange name. So NeuroGraphica has two roots. Neuro, what is going on in our brain, in our mind, and Graphica, how we can present it on paper with simple shapes and lines, how we can express on paper what is going on in our mind. So it's a fairly new method, was developed and discovered by Russian psychologist Pavel Piskarev. So 6 years old only. So it's a really still be growing baby, and it's already so much accomplished. There is a Russian, in Moscow, there is an Institute Psychology of Creativity, and there is a many programs that could be different levels of education related to NeuroGraphica. So NeuroGraphica is not just good feeling about your creativity and good feeling after you draw. It's included, but it's a very practical method. It has so much science behind it and so much goals and different perceptions. So we really want to, with NeuroGraphica, we really want to be very practical and effective at the present moment. Whatever we do, the goal is to be more effective, to be more connected to your body, to be more connected to your emotions, and how you can set up goals, how you can change your patterns, how you can be more effective in communications as well and in relationships. So there is so many layers. It's recognized as a scientific subject because it's based on many scientific discoveries that are very fresh at this moment yet. So there will be a lot to teach, and we teach in more details on during our course, NeuroGraphica basic user level, that we give more background and more understanding and more algorithms. Today we will just show you the tip of the iceberg, but it's already very effective, and you can use this one to help like for yourself, but there is a much more that to discover with NeuroGraphica. Okay, so a little bit about NeuroGraphica. I'm not a professional psychologist, so I don't have any degrees in psychology. So I have a degree from Moscow Institute Psychology of Creativity, but it's a different, and it has I'm a coach and I'm NeuroGraphica instructor. It took me 9 months to be intensely trained to how to recognize and how to guide people through the NeuroGraphica. So if you're looking for any degrees my degrees are in different realm. Like I have degrees in healing, I have degrees in, I have 2 master degrees, but none of them are about psychology. And I'm trained and certified in facilitator for family constellation. So there is a lot of intuitive work that I pursue, and my analysis about your drawings and my guidance as an instructor is based on a lot of science and intuition at the same time. So it's a practice, and it gives more development. But shall we start drawing? Because it's always exciting, just like learn something new. I'll switch my camera and we will start going into NeuroGraphica. So NeuroGraphica, basic steps that we will need to learn is a very simple one. And where is my focus? Let's, come on, camera. Let's start drawing and maybe it will fix one more thing. Okay, so NeuroGraphica is one of the main elements, the very important element is line, neurographic line. It's such a line that goes wherever you don't expect it, and it does not repeat itself. So it's like a root looking for the beautiful path to grow. Or does it look like vine, or does it look like a branch or river? There is so many beautiful neural lines in nature. Like if you look at mountains, they create not a straight line, but a very organic, very beautiful, not repeatable lines. Like there is so much to explore. So try to draw such a line. Like the line is always surprising you. It has it may have spiky turns, but try to do it soft curves. It's really, the line represents process, how we communicate, how we set up goals, how we move in our lives. I really love the neurographic line comparison with a life, how we can follow our life journey without exact repetition, and expect to be surprised on every step of our life. Nothing is really exactly repeated. There are some cycles, but there's not exactly repeated. So try to draw such lines. It's a very, it could be quite emotional, because especially when you try to not repeat the patterns, it's not sinusoid, it's not some other cycles that you can repeat. So be surprised constantly, allow yourself to surprise yourself and others. Could be emotional process. Not everybody can do it from first try. So try and see how do you feel about it. Another exercise that I usually offer to my children and adults clients is to work with a button or a coin or any round object. So if you have some maybe like stones, round stones, or maybe a cup of your pen, and you can start pushing, gently push, and with the tip of a marker. And what's going on with my camera? Wait. And I start pushing and it starts rotating, and it's really creating unusual line. Try different speeds, see how it's really working. Like it can be, if it's fast or if it's slow. So it's almost like a game. Push the coin from the paper. Try different speeds. Different speeds really create different lines. Different objects create different lines. And you may see that your body starts resonate with depending on the line that you're creating. There is a lot of emotions can be activated related to it. Because we're drawing something that is very unusual for our body. We're using our fine motor skills to access our brain and some patterns in our brain. And now you can try to expand those lines and see how it's working. If you notice that those lines even different from what I did at the beginning on my another piece of paper, because it's really not unpredictable where I'm going, like what do I draw. So it's a good exercise to relax your body, to relax your hand and see what it wants to be appeared on your drawing, like how to be constantly surprised. Next step, so this is just practice. You can we'll come back to one of them and practice more on this drawings, but I just want you to show some of this. When we have two narrow lines crossing each other, there is some intersection. And traditionally from ancient times, we recognize that corners represent danger and conflicts and could be representing aggression. But circles represent harmony and balance. And we learn how to transform danger and conflicts in harmony. And we just round those corners. And like if I compare that each intersection has 4 corners, each corner look like a letter V. We want to convert it in a letter U. So we color this spike and we make it smooth. We make it, it looks like a neuron connection in our brain. And the energy is really moving freely from one side to another. It may go any direction. There is no blockages. There is no hard or challenging elements there. So try to do like 2 lines that crossing each other. Be aware that sometimes we have these 2 skinny lines crossing each other and you start rounding and creating like very bold element here. Here we are. You see, there is a very spiky dark side and it really doesn't look like very organic or very beautiful. So we need to make sure that it's smoothly extended, that all connections, all lines are strong and powerful. So the spike does not look so bold. So everything is bold. Like if we have such spike, we need to make lines bolder, stronger. It's maybe darker, it's maybe more powerful, but it will be balanced. There will be nice transition from intersection to every line. So if you have, if you invested a lot of energy in some intersection, make sure that your lines are stronger as well. So you have this beautiful, strong, powerful lines. Okay, so now we come back to our page 1. And we will learn a little bit how to round those corners. So we just, I use a Uniball pen. You can use Sharpies, you can use any color pencils, you can use any pens you want, like really NeuroGraphica. You can use highlighters, you can use like just any pencils, any pen. So see. Later, like if you really want to experience it more, there will be desire to acquire quality pencils, but it's not necessary to start. And it's really, I purchased my very good pencils maybe in a year after I was drawing NeuroGraphica. Now I have a lot because I teach constantly. Okay. And you just see how, like when you start rounding all those corners, how's your body resonates? Is there any changes in your body? Because we're activating a neuron system when we draw. And when we bring something hidden from our subconsciousness to paper, we start transform it. We're repeating very simple element, but it's a very symbolic element. And we're repeating transformation. We converting, we're transforming danger, conflicts in something positive and something safe and something harmonious. And we teach our brain that like, okay, I have an ability to change conflicts in positive, organic experiences. So we learn how to round it. And so if you want, you can practice. You can finish it and do all other steps on this drawing as well. So you see how it's different. It's much cleaner. It's instead of just be crossing each other, they become very connected to each other. Not, there are some exceptions. Some people may not recognize corners. Remember, I said that like we working with symbols. Symbols represent conflict, and some people don't recognize conflicts. When they lived too long in conflict situation, they become and don't know what to do about them. They their brain stop recognizing them, because like if you don't know what to do, it's very stressful to live in conflicts and without any changes. And brain say like, okay, so it's not danger, I don't want you to get crazy, and I really from this point, conflicts are your reality. It's okay. So you don't have to stress out constantly about your conflicts. And you become very blind to conflicts. And it's not just survival mechanism, but it's could be quite dangerous after you change the reality, like you living already in positive environment, but you still don't see conflicts. You don't see the danger that they may create, and you don't see when you are causing those conflicts as well. So it's very important to train your brain back that, okay, so conflicts, okay, this moment, it's okay. I know how to deal with them. I know how to find resources to be more organic with them, and I need to train my brain. So it could be quite a challenge for some people, but I've seen several of my students had the first time it was quite a shock that how you don't see corners. Like there is such a spiky corners and you don't recognize them, because it's later when I realized what is going on. It was really revelation for me. And it's people can be trained. Like And it's interesting when you recognize corners, when you recognize conflicts, the point is not just be able to recognize them, but how to change them, how to be able to transform them in something positive. Like it's some people can say like, okay, if I don't recognize conflicts, isn't it good for me? It's good, but it's and bad at the same time, because you don't have the whole picture. You don't have the conscious decisions. It's your mind which really already making decisions on your behalf, and it's who is the master. Okay, so this is the training. So we learn how to do neurographic line, and we learn how to round corners. So there's two very important steps before we start NeuroGraphica. And today, as I promised, we will do one exercise, full exercise. And NeuroGraphica is a very practical method. We don't just draw to feel good. We draw to change something in better way. So we want to make sure that we are changing our reality. We are really take responsibility to and tool to transform something in a positive way. Okay, so I want you to pick a topic that is very important for you, something that you want to change, something that you want to transform in positive way. It could be your reaction to stress, it could be relationship, it could be job, it could be health, any topics. What's going on today with my camera? Okay. So pick the topic that you want to change. So for me, it's going to be, for me today, it's going to be, okay, so we want to change the course schedule, some plan, course plan, not, okay. And I want to release all constraints related to it. I want to make sure that everything is going to be smooth and organic, that there is nothing that can be block us from this experience. Okay. I really annoyed by this camera today. I changed my lighting and see if it helps, and so far it's not really helping much. Okay, and now I will set up timer for 2 minutes, and we will do some brainstorming. We will write down all associations related to this topic that coming to your mind. It could be like all words that just show up in your mind. You don't have to analyze it. You can repeat words. Words can be not appropriate because nobody is going to watch them, but if you have such words, like write them down. It's just a representation of your intensity. We need to activate neuron system. We need to activate neurons that collect and hold the information related to this topic. So you can write down in any language that you feel comfortable, and you don't have, like, sometimes it's could be names, sometimes it could be made up words, and as I said, words can be repeated. So 2 minutes, just random words that coming to your mind related to this topic. If it's not related to the topic but it's coming to your mind, write it down anyway. So are we ready? 2 minutes. Okay, it goes. have about 1 more minute. Okay, so it's 2 minutes up. And first of all, I just want you to count how many words you have. Just count them without any analytics. If if the word is repeated, just count each word as a separate word. 1, 2. I have 22, but I just did not count like some of these phrases I had, and I just count each phrase as a word together. So take a look on your list, see what's really unusual about this words, maybe something that is really strikes you, something that is really activated, unexpectedly shows up. So for me, it's very, it's interesting. It's for me, there are several words that really follow the development. It's like, don't try to analyze everything, but like really how you can be follow as a narrow line and see where it's really leading you. So how many words do you have? I have 22. How many you have? I have, I see 25 words. So did you count your words? You can type in the chat, or you can just say it out loud. 40 words, 20 for me. Okay, so it's really 40 words. It's a fast writer. So see if any of those words really unusual, something that is really brings you attention. So see how you feel about them. We don't analyze them a lot. 31. Nice. So usually if we have more than 20 words, it means that the topic is really active for you. Something is very important for you. If we have fewer words, like 10, sometimes 15, it just may represent that two options. The topic could be not very important for you, or most likely the topic is so painful that you don't even allow your brain think about it. So now, so you have the topic. It's activated some emotions. It's activated some resistance. It's activated some physical reactions as well. So I want you to put your feet on the ground and just for the beginning, feel the texture of your floor. Is it wood? Is it carpet? Is it something else, tiles or some? And just feel how you can experience all this texture through your feet. We want to be grounded when we are going to do next step. And you may even close your eyes and scan your body. Is there any emotional disturbance in your body? So how's it really, what is going on? Like if there is any emotions stuck in your body, so each part of the body. And now we start like taking a deep inhale And we scoop those emotions from your body and bring them to you, guide them to your right hand. And we scoop again, inhale, scoop emotions and guide them to right. It's a right hand or left hand if you lefty. So like the hand that holds your pencil. Okay. What is, it's really, right. And we can do it like several times and just pay attention, see how I'm doing. So one more time, I inhale, and all these emotions I express through my hand, through my pencil, and the tip of my pencil become a channel of all these emotions on the paper. All these intentions that I'm holding, I inhale, and with exhale, I do the catharsis on the paper. So if for any reason, if the paper is you teared or like damaged, it's good. Don't worry about it. It means that you express this emotional catharsis. It's emotional pressure on the paper. So now inhale, scoop all emotions, and with exhale, do the catharsis on the paper. Your mess will be a little bit different. So everybody has their own mess. Congratulations. So this is how much emotional emotions you have, you hold in your body, in your mind, in your consciousness as well. So next step, we start rounding. Do you see how many corners we have? Each corner represents some conflicts. Those conflicts are we holding in ourselves. So we start rounding to make sure that we can relax, and we just start each corner. We relax. We transform in something harmonious. Each corner we transform in soft curves, each V. And I usually repeat the lines because if I just start rounding corners, they become very bold and they look very black on top of the pale lines. So I start just inner corners. We're just working with inner corners. So if you have some lines that are spiky or just ending somewhere in the middle, don't worry about them. I will tell you just in a second what we are going to do. So. And you may even repeat sometimes like around these lines, like make sure that they're not so rigid. You can go along them and try to soften them. I wanted to remind everyone that we have a Facebook group, NeuroGraphica, Neuroart, and please join the group. We have many free classes. We have many announcements. We have like just recently we finished the 21-day marathon for big transformation. It's a great opportunity to share your drawings, ask your questions, be connected to a beautiful international community. We have people from all around the world, and it's a very interesting, creative group of people that really express their emotions through the art. It's not just sharing the art, but how you can be connected to the community, bigger community, through emotional art. and be safe. Be open and be safe at the same time. It's a very important. It's not everywhere you can meet such opportunities. So please join. We are going to start in August. On August 7th, we're starting new basic user course. So if you want to learn more, please join us. It's really a great opportunity to understand more about NeuroGraphica, what we're doing. You will learn, like today, I just show you tip of an iceberg, like really tip of a tip. And if you want to know more, please join us. There's so much to share. And it's a very beautiful opportunity to learn it. It's online classes. If you cannot attend any of them, you have opportunity to see the video recordings, and there is already some courses that already we finished. You will receive a certificate from Moscow Institute of Psychology that really confirming that you are graduated basic user level course. And you will be registered at this institute as well. Okay. So we'll see how you're feeling, how's your reactions in your body has changed. Do you have any physical sensations, any changes the way you're breathing, the way maybe emotional changes? You can experience sometimes tears or unexpected tears. Like, what is going on? Like, why is it thing that's happening inside of me is really triggers so much reactions in your body? Okay. So we have if it's very hard for you to breathe, slow down. Make sure that you are breathing. Make sure that you are paying attention to the way you're breathing. It's very important to pay attention to the way we are inhale and exhale. So I just round corners I don't expand yet any lines. So you can just round corners. This is the inner pressure. This is how much intensity you have related to this topic. And the topic can be very painful. Sometimes if we're talking about relationships or health, the intensity of lines could be so big that maybe one drawing is not enough. Maybe you need to create several drawings about the same topic. And it's you just observe how you're changing after each drawing. How is it really like different layers are peeled off and you are experiencing it. So what is changing? Every time there will be a little bit of change, a little bit of transformation, and you can experience it. Just observing, we don't force anything. We observe what is going on with my body, with my mind, with my emotion. Like this 3 points of attention are very important. How I can be connected to my body, to my emotions, and to my mind, what kind of insights I have during the process. Okay, so I think I rounded all the corners. Not everyone's, let's say everyone, there is still be skipping some corners. It's a very good representation that in our lives, there are some situations where we don't recognize corners. We repeat the same situations, like in the communications, and we think that it's okay. But for other people from side, can say like, why do you talk like this? Like, why? How you allow yourself to be so demanding or so defending? So it's like it could be different patterns that you express in communication. So now when we have this inner pressure, so this is I always compare it with air balloon. When we have so much pressure inside of us, so we have when we have so much pressure inside of us and there is no pressure outside, the balloon will blow out. It's like it will be noisy, it will be nasty, there will be no pleasant for everybody. So we don't want to blow up. We want to be comfortably supported by our surroundings. We need a little bit pressure outside. And pressure could be positive or negative as well. There could be people who are very intensely loving us or people who are intensely challenging us. So now we need to create this comfortable pressure outside, and all the spikes that I have, I expand with narrow line to the edge of the paper. So everything that was dropped from the middle or from corners, I just expand those lines with narrow lines. So these are me trying to reach to the society to be effective. I'm connecting to people and I asking for help, for some wisdom, for some support, for not just to be loved, but how I can be just connected, just feeling belonging to society. It's a very important desire to belong to society, to group of people, feel accepted, feel loved, feel seen. And it's not just we reaching out to the society, but people reaching out to us as well. So we're going from edge of the paper to through our shape, through our catharsis, and they influence us, they inspire us, they can be supporting us. And we don't want them really stuck in us. Like we want to be connected to people, but we don't want to be really overwhelmed by people. We want to be organically connected. We want to be organically, I just noticed that I took a different paper, not the one that I usually use. So it's just a printer paper. And now, when we have enough lines, when we have enough pressure to feel comfortable around us, we start rounding. Of course, when we connect to other people, it requires to deal with many challenges, with many conflicts. We need to know how to deal with those conflicts. And we connect with them and we transform those conflicts in a positive connections, in a harmonious connection. So we round all those corners. So it's a constantly, we're creating conflicts and we round them. And if you need to add more lines, please do so. You don't really have to ask, like, can I do more lines? In NeuroGraphica, the quality of the work is usually defined by how many lines, how many connections you created. So this is a very important, like if you want to be present quality work, you need to activate and connect many neurons in your brain. And those are really connections or intersections after rounding, they represent neurons, like how many neurons you connected. Everything is really connected on your drawing. There is no just a separate elements. It doesn't matter this line connected to this line, like you can find the path that there will be some connection. Everything in our life is connected. We don't maybe recognize it yet. We maybe don't see direct connection, but there is some connection. And we connected to other people as well. It's really interesting to observe, like when we have working with a group of people, and they have, they usually do like their own topics. At the end, several drawings, if you put them next to each other, there will be some lines, not everything, but there will be some lines that are organically moving from one drawing to another. And it's a very beautiful how you can be connected, how you can be resonating with other people, emotional situations from other people. And it's a very beautiful experience to feel that you are part of the community, you are part of the group of the people, and it's a very inspiring. It's inspiring and responsibility as well, that you are bringing your part of this. Whatever you do, whatever you think, whatever you feel, you are part of the group, and it's the group will be affected by your experiences as well. So that's why when you're reaching out to the group, you have all rights to do it because you are the group as well. You are changing the group. By helping yourself, you're changing the group to the best. So. And if we ignore somebody, we're still ignoring the group itself. So it's a very important to be integrated, organically integrated in whatever is we experience, like whatever environment we live in. In these days, we ignore a lot nature, we ignore a lot other people, so situations, and it's a good experience to be reminded us that we are connected. I have today, some reason I have a philosophical mood. Okay. So let's experience. So I see that some of you feel calmer, yes, and you may notice that your body starts relaxing. When you see much less conflict, you don't have to be so defensive. You can relax, and when you have relaxed your body, when you relax your mind, you relax your body, And this is the moment when miracle starts happening, when we have relaxed and all this potential, inner potential start revealing, start appearing, like we start feeling, receiving insights, some inspiration, some healing could be received when body is relaxed. It's very important to understand that, like, until we relax, until we feel safe, there will be no healing. Like we cannot force anything to our body. It's we need to find relaxation, and body itself like start heal itself. Like there is no healing that could be forced. It could be accepted, but you cannot accept anything until you relax. So see, how do you feel now? We're changing our mind, we're changing our patterns, so there could be some resistance at the beginning. So just observe it, don't follow it, but observe. It has its own survival reasons. It's a survival mechanism, and it's a very important, but we just observe how you behave, like what do you experience, what kind of resistance it could be. It could be like, oh my gosh, what a silly project, how is it going to help me? Just to look at it, say, okay, my mind doesn't want to change, it's okay. But your mind always wants to be educated, like we're really learning constantly. And with these days, there's so many things to learn. There's so much information. Okay. For me, I have like, it's interesting. I did not expect that the topics that I picked, I was, okay, it should be simple topic, recently, decently simple. There is nothing emotional, but it requires so much work. There is so much detail that I need to pay attention. So, and it's good for me to observe this, that I underestimate the importance of this topic. So it's for me, it's a very good reminder, like, okay, so maybe I need to spend more time and more attention to it. Maybe I need to be more focused on it, because there's so many details, there's so many small corners that are really presented in the catharsis and in this topic. So observe what is going on with you, how you resonate with the topic. Is there any insights are coming, or any observations, how many corners you have, or maybe it's just observe. Like, we don't try to overanalyze, but see, like sometimes the process is really telling you some clues, like giving you some clues, some understanding. Okay. After this or during the process, I highly recommend to drink enough or clean water, any emotional work, any energy work, and this is we're still working with the energy as well. Highly recommend to use clean water, not coffee or tea. You can drink it, but it's water is the best information carrier, and it's good to bring new information in your body and release old ones. So it's I highly recommend to use just clean water to support, to help your body to process all this information, to integrate this information that you're working with. So it's just reminder. You can follow it or not. There is no strict rules about it, but just from my personal experience, I see that it's helping. Okay. So you may notice that energy in your body starts moving, and sometimes it may go through this, like you start experiencing some bubbling in your stomach, and it's usually representing that energy start moving in your body. So don't be scared. It's perfectly fine. If you start yawning, it's usually representing that your heart muscle get relaxed. It's a very good sign as well. It's a sign of relaxation, body relaxation. If you have any questions, please let me know. I check the chat, or you can just ask directly, like unmute yourself and ask directly. And like it's really many corners I have today. And we are going to do several more steps. It's this is just we already done what we've done already. I think we already done 4. No, we've done 3, 3.5. Okay. And so I think I rounded my, almost, I found more corners, of course. So I experience, I have several students, including my father and my husband, several men drawing NeuroGraphica, and it's a very beautiful experience for men. When you repeating something simple, something very, you concentrate your attention, you repeat something, you pay attention to your body, to emotions, and you still have the sense of achievement. At the end, you still receive like, oh, I did something. It's not just you sitting in meditation, but there is an art meditation. It's a little bit different experience, and it's I have so much good feedbacks from men, like they really enjoy it. So if you have a partner or husband or parent that you feel that they may benefit from it, please encourage them to try it. It's could be a very big step for them. Okay, so I rounded all my corners. Next step we are going to do is coloring. So coloring in NeuroGraphica is usually, it's a little bit different than other techniques. Let's see, what I want. Okay, today will be 3 colors. I highly recommend to use at least 3 colors. It can be much more. And when we do coloring, we connect several segments together, like from small elements, we're creating bigger meanings and bigger understanding. So now we have so many details on your drawing, how we can group them in something bigger, in something more powerful and meaningful. So you can just see where which colors wants to be on your drawing and how they want to be located on your drawing. It could be like a flow, or it could be just several big shapes connected to each other. So just follow your intuition, what wants to be on your drawing, what wants to be presented, which colors. Like if you have very challenging experience, like what kind of colors I want, try to pick any of them. Like you can close your eyes and pick random colors and start just blending them together. They will still resonate with you. You will still have many benefits from them. It's interesting. Like I teach NeuroGraphica to kids, and it's sometimes we give just 3 color pencils, and it's always even if they are random, they still the combination of them, like how they blend those colors, will tell a lot about their personality. So you don't really have to worry about which colors, but how you really use them. Like sometimes you give 3 colors to a person and the person will use only 1 or 2, like, and completely don't touch another one. So it's an interesting experience. You may do some shadings, you may do some grading, you can blend colors. So see how is it really wants to be integrated on your drawing. So. Just today I received on my YouTube channel, I received a comment like, oh, you must be an artist, like professional artist. And I'm like, no, it's actually, I started drawing about 4 years ago with NeuroGraphica, and it's really everything that I learned, everything that I create is my experience from NeuroGraphica. And if I can do it, you can do it as well. So it's not rocket science that you just practice and try different elements and see how it's really blending. Is it working? Well, pretty much like we experimenting in our lives, like we learning and learning. We watch how other people do it. We imitate, see if it's working for you or not. So the creativity pretty much the same. At least it's the same for me. You can learn go to school and learn some techniques, and it's a great way to learn as well. But sometimes you just need to observe other people, other techniques, other projects, like how is it done, like interesting how I can do it. So it's always an opportunity to learn something. You can notice that sometimes a very beautiful combinations of colors, sometimes a very beautiful combinations of shapes, and it's could be very inspiring. So I don't really try to recognize any shapes like hearts or flowers or butterflies. At the beginning, when your mind is trying to recognize, like, okay, it's so abstract, I need something more concrete, something that I can have associations with. And it will be at the beginning, you will look for some shape that really give you some meanings. But after you draw NeuroGraphica for a while, the circle will represent harmony and love and support, and it will be enough for you. You don't have to recognize hearts and flowers and birds and sometimes fishes. Like it's a, you will be trained to recognize beauty in abstract art. And it will have so much meanings and so much power for you. So it's just draw a little bit longer and you will see how you will adapt to abstract art, like and how you can appreciate abstract art as well. It's you will be attuned to emotional component of it, like how I can really be attuned, how I can be emotionally supported by this experience that I'm observing in art. I love to color a flow, like most of my drawings has this flow of colors. It's not necessary that you have to do the same. I just, it's my personality, so your drawing will express your personality. So I highly recommend you to see what you want to do and how you want to be just expressed on the paper. So I usually round very fast just because I've done it for very, very long time. Like I've done it 1,000 times. So if you still rounding, don't rush. It's I really highly encourage you to follow your pace, because if we rush too much, there will be no pleasure, there will be no satisfaction. We all have a different pace, different time, different speed, and it's very important to recognize it and respect it. This video will be recorded. You can watch it later, watch it again. If you want, you can share it with somebody who is, you can feel that will benefit from it. Okay, it's a lot of green today for me. I'm not a very green person, but look how green is my drawing today. All these narrow lines really create very unique, very beautiful shapes. And it will be, and it's not just beautiful shapes, but this drawing has emotional charge. This drawing really has this emotional impulse that we originally created at the beginning. So it really gives us some support from the beginning, that it's not just a drawing, it's a process of transformation, your own transformation in something beautiful and powerful. It's really This, see if you want to blend any colors on your drawing. Okay. And I want to do a little bit. You can try to use watercolors. I have several students who use watercolors, and it's very beautiful, very alive media to work with. So you can try. Originally, the NeuroGraphica is more like working with color pencils, but you can experiment. I'm like, you can try to work with highlighters. They are very bright and very fast working with, so really you can fill big spaces with highlighters. It's a very beautiful elements. So see if you want to add more colors, if you want to blend them, if you want to use grading, like you want to, or shading, some intense areas or some lighter areas, like you can create soft transition from one color to another. It's a very beautiful way to integrate. Okay. If you create some dark areas on sides, it will give you some 3D effect. It's a very interesting effect, and it's really gives some value and more interesting. It's a very beautifully looks like when you use some contrast colors, some colors that can complement each other. It's create some dynamic relationship. Colors represents usually emotions. It may represent some qualities, and it's a very beautiful how they can be very accurate about your personal experiences at this moment. Okay. Even if you do just color, yellow color, you can do some additional, some shadings as well. And see how it's working. Experiment. It's like really, I highly recommend to try something new, constantly try something new. This is the way you will learn, and you will recognize like, okay, it's working or not. Do I blend or not? So it's still be very creative process. I remember we were driving from class home and my husband was like smiling and like, oh, I have such a beautiful drawing today. I learned how to do some shadings. Like he was so happy about himself that he learned something unusual, and it's really give you so much satisfaction, and it's feeling achieved some good results in your process. The process is more important. What is going on inside of you is more important, but some drawings can give you some satisfaction as well. Okay, maybe I want some. So, see how your body reacts when we do bringing some colors to your drawing. Usually it's an element the moment when we have much inspiration, a lot of inspiration. So this is like when your inner child is really get happy. Like you created your own coloring book, emotional coloring book, and it's a very inspiring. I love to color. You don't have to color everything, like usually about 70% colored and 30 still be white. It could be very interesting how to feel. But it's there is no strict rule, like you can try to color everything. There are some drawings that always colored completely in my drawings, and sometimes I leave quite a lot white. So it depends on topic, it depends on my desire to experiment, and in most cases I just follow my intuition, like what do I want to do today? So what do I want to try? What do I want to experiment with? So I have quite a long time already on my list that I need to experiment more with watercolors, how I can play with them. And I see more and more of my students try it. And some of them like very professional and like very inspiring. I'm like really just need to find some time to do it. I tried before, but did not work well. It really requires good quality paper for watercoloring, but it's on my list. Okay, so I did enough coloring, so I feel like I don't want to color more. Now, with the NeuroGraphica, we have everything has a vibration. So we have vibrations, emotions have vibrations, everybody around us has their own vibration, and the universe has its own vibration. The universe really has a much more powerful vibration that we want to be aligned to. We want to be coexist harmoniously. We want to see bigger meanings. We want to be at the right place, meet the right people. So now we want to invite to our drawing this beautiful, harmonious vibrations that represent universe. It's may like if you want to, you can call it represent divinity. It may represent oneness, totality. So whatever name is comfortable for you. And this, I use a bolder Sharpie markers, chisel tip, to create very powerful black lines. You can use different colors, but different colors may have this challenge to integrate with the rest of the drawing. So I will show you what we are going to do next to integrate it. And those lines can follow the lines that already existing on your drawing, or they may create completely new paths. Like they can go in very unusual directions. Like sometimes they can repeat the path that you have, and sometimes it will be something new. Like we not always follow the path that we meant to follow, and this universe wants to align us with this. Lines, field lines, we call them field lines. They can cross each other, they can merge, they can divide, and see how many you want. Usually 2 or 3 is enough for such drawing, but you can create more if you want. See if there is any, and it's narrow lines, but narrow lines with a little bit stronger wave. Like there is a little bit different quality of vibration when we're talking about the universe. So now, many people freaked out, oh, it's ruined my drawing because there is such bold lines. I highly recommend you to don't freak out yet. This universe could be demanding. Universe can be very forcing, but we don't want any force. We want to be harmoniously integrated, and we start rounding all the corners, all this conflict that it's created, and we just round those corners. We just make sure that we guided by the universe, not forced. That we recognize some clues, we recognize some whispers of the universe before it starts kicking us. So it's really how we can be gently guided, gently navigating in the universe. What is my life purpose? What is my, what should I do? Should I stay? Should I go? Should I, how its transformation can be softer and gentler for us? Like we usually stuck so much in our relationships, in our jobs, in our perceptions to life. And it's sometimes we're so stuck and so far away from our karmic destination, let's say, and it's the universe takes responsibility to guide us there, to guide where we should be. And if we recognize that this is a guidance, there is no evil, there is maybe challenging, but there is everything moves to the best, and we follow this guidance. In this case, universe don't have to drag us. It doesn't have to push us or force us to do anything. It can be a much gentler experience for every participant in this journey. So try just around those corners that this field lines created. See how it really starts blending with all the rest of the drawing. If you try to use different colors, we still need to round all the corners. And when you have different colors for field lines, it really makes a little bit more challenging to integrate. But just round with the color that is lighter, the color that is like if you use red and black, use red to round those corners. You don't have to do like all the time black lines. I do it so it's good and easy visible on the camera. But you can do it different colors. I have made some drawings that has a green, red, purple lines, so different markers, and sometimes I use color pencils to do some catharsis and all these other steps. So it's not necessary you have to be working with black. Black is just easier to integrate with anything. It's good blended with any other colors, and that's why I use it a lot, but not necessary. You don't feel limited by black color. So it's another option for you to experiment which color I prefer. And if I travel and I don't have any color pencils with me, which is happening quite rare now, but if I need, I can just use any pencil or any pen to draw lines. Like it could be blue, red, green, whatever I have, whatever hotel provides, it will be enough for me to express what needs to be done. So I do this exercise almost before every trip or in airport, like when you're waiting for something, you can do it in airport. You can do it before any challenging meetings to prepare yourself, to calm down yourself and take, release all those limitations, all those inner blocks that you have related to this meeting. Like you have perceptions that like, oh, everything should go challenging today. Like maybe the meeting, maybe the interview will be very calming and very enjoyable for all participants. So it's highly recommend to try it before meetings. If you have a phone interview, you can do it during the meeting. It's a very interesting experience how to calm down yourself when you could be stressed. The size of the paper really doesn't matter. You can take much smaller size or much bigger. And in some cases, when you're working on some challenging, big topic, you may glue this drawing to a bigger piece of paper or extend it with paper on sides and see how it wants to be expanded. Maybe you will just look at some side of it and go look on a bigger, like what will be the bigger picture? Like if I just don't stay stuck in my vision, but of how I can expand and maybe bring other aspects of this topic on the same level. So it's always interesting to experience. Okay, so I rounded all these corners from field lines. You can do it like you can take your time, and usually the field lines really represent this huge resource that's available for everybody. It's a resource of being connected to the universe, being connected to this nature, to planet Earth, and it's a really enormous amount of energy, feeling connected, feeling meaning, bigger meaning of everything that is going on in this process, and how I can be integrated with the universe, like that I'm not just a teeny tiny speck. I still be part of the universe, and universe is growing, and really operating within me, like it's inside of me. I am universe and universe is in me. Okay, so next step. What do we want to remember? Like we are almost done with the drawing. So we have many beautiful elements on the drawing. So usually on the drawing, there are some shapes that want to like really stand up, like you notice them. And it could be some very abstract shapes, like very unusual shapes, some just like a spot without really rigid edges. You can highlight it, or you can notice that some of these elements wants to become a circle. For example, this one, it looks like a drop, but I want to make it create the best possible potential, like the best potential, the best outcome. And I just highlight the circle. I want it even bolder, like I use a very bold marker for it. So this representing the course that I'm working. And I still see this beautiful arc, like this one. The circle can be so big that it can go beyond the paper. And for me, I want to highlight this, like, see if I can represent. It's, I define what I want to pick on my drawing, what I see on my drawing. This is message from your subconsciousness. And of course, it's created new corners, it's created new mass. And I just take my pencil or pen, and I start rounding those corners. We constantly, as I said, like we constantly creating mess and we clean it. And something beautiful out of it will be born. If you're working with Sharpie, Sharpie are challenging to use on top of colored pencils. In this case, I highly recommend to use just black color pencil to round those corners, because Sharpies will just stop drawing because the tip will be stuck with some wax that color pencils have. So it's could be challenging. So you can use just black pen, or like I use a uniball pen to round all these corners. The uniball pen usually work quite well on top of color pencils, but you can use just black pencil, black colored pencil. So. There is no really rules like which tools you have to use, which media you can use. You can see what is really makes you feel more comfortable with. I have students who use some tools that I've never tried on, and they create very powerful, very beautiful drawings. And the most important, they have experienced very beautiful insights and sensations in their body. So this is more important even than how the drawing will look at the end. So see which one works the best for you. So I already rounded about around this drawing, so and I will do a little bit on this one. Again, pay attention how you breathe, how your body reacts, any emotions, any sensations, any insights in your mind. See what really brings your attention. Okay. See how you feel, how you want to be. If anything else you want to do here, so pay attention. You may highlight not just by the thickness of lines, you may highlight using some shading, some colors. It's a very beautiful way to make some shapes very noticeable, very bold, very like 3D effect, like really they can stand out from this drawing. And I usually use this colors. I use colors, I use lines. See which way you prefer to do. And I'm like, again, like I created some lines and now they look more organic and more integrated after I rounded all these corners. I rounded all the corners and I connected everything in one big shape. We really connecting, we really okay. And see which element, like if you have selected two, see which one is really more important for you. Maybe you can highlight it even more. I want to a little bit. I want to highlight this one a little bit. Okay. Sometimes if you want to highlight the shape, like really stand it out, you can use even black color to really bring it more 3D effect. So it's maybe scary at the beginning to do, but you can expand it a little bit, like a little bit shading on the edge. It really can give this value, this different quality of this element. Okay, let me create a little bit. Like I intensify even more the edge of this beautiful shape. And you can give this element meaning, like it's like a symbol. So what does it symbolize for you? Is it will be representing you, or is it representing some potential from your work? Well, depending on the topic, see what kind of symbols you want to highlight. So it's what does it give you, what kind of emotions and experiences it resonate with. For me, this one represent the course that I was talking, just like plan for the course. So this what representing. And this big shape representing something other, something another potential that I don't really see the whole potential yet. But it's there and I'm aware of it. And it's very important for me to know that this is just a teeny tiny element that I'm working right now, but it may grow into something different, something much more profound. So see your associations related to it. It will be unique associations, like don't try to find any, like, what do you think about my drawings? Like, this is your chart. This is what you really bringing the meanings to it. Only you knows what it means. Okay, so, and very at the end, the very important step is really, how do you feel now about the topic? How do you feel, or what's new about the situation you learned? Is there any changes in your perspective? Is there any changes in your relationship to this topic? Maybe you feel calmer, maybe you have some insights, maybe you feel some new potentials, or maybe you brought, like, there's some new discoveries. For me, it's interesting, like several last week I did very similar drawing and it was quite the same. There was a huge potential, like the big, this was different size, like there was huge circle and two teeny tiny, and it seems like this starts growing. So this starts growing and it really brings me some inspiration. Because it's a little bit there is already background related to this topic, and I see the development. It's quite inspiring as well. There is no limitations to it, and you can keep working. You can pay attention to details. You can tune, do some coloring, pay attention to some elements. You can add more lines if you wish. At any point, you can work more on your highlights of this element, like really what you want, like how you want to highlight, how you want to pay more attention to field lines. Field lines can be very bold and very strong. You can create them even stronger. They give you some new sensations about this drawing. And it gives you some, it creates really different thickness of lines and how it can be supporting each other. It really gives a very interesting sensation from the drawing when you have bold lines and skinny lines and very teeny tiny lines. So it's a very experiment with different qualities, with different lines. Some of them could be stronger, some of them could be very skinny. Okay, so we have 15 more minutes, and if you want to show your drawing and see my feedback, will be very the best time. And if you have any questions, let me know, because I love questions. It's a very the best way for me to teach, to learn from you, and I believe everyone benefits from questions. So, okay, Charo. Okay, so first of all, very beautiful and gentle colors. You see how huge, like I love this huge arc, the black. So the black arc is a big circle that you can find. And I see that the blue lines are representing field lines, yes? Okay, so can we come back to the drawing? So I love how this, first of all, like really the huge resource, is something that's a very big project maybe, or some potential, huge potential that is there. You see that, another circle that you have, the much smaller, it still is protected by this huge project. It still be like a seed of it. It's not separated yet. So see in your life, what does it really need right now? What kind of support I need? Maybe there is some research, maybe some information that I just need to connect to.
Okay.
Very gentle, very colors, they are colorful, but gentle the same way. See how your neural lines quite straight, like you're quite direct person. You don't really go all around. You shoot your star like right away. So see if you want to experiment a little bit more. Maybe you don't want to be very direct, because it's interesting, like when we have a direct straight lines, we reach very fast the goal. There is no question. It's like we reach it fast. But if we have more curves, it gives us more potential to find something along the way. Like it really gives you some other opportunities, maybe new meetings, new people, new very beautiful smooth interaction and communication. So see if you want to just practice those lines, like just what if I can try to be not so straight, but how I can practice more curves, like how if I turn often, so how does it will really resonate with me? So it's interesting. Okay, very beautiful pink flow. And is it orange or is it brown color?
Orange.
Orange. Okay, so you know about the pleasures in life. You know how to relax. So overall, it's a very balanced, very beautiful drawing. See, the only thing that I want you to pay attention, I already told about lines, but see how the yellow color is like very bright and just separate. There is no flow, there is no really big shapes of yellow. So I believe that you are a smart person, but you have like very bright ideas that not connected somehow in the bigger understanding or bigger, there is no connections between those bright colors, so bright yellow shapes. See if you just pay attention to the futures, like that. What if I connect them somehow? If I create the flow or bigger shapes, don't really let them just stay by itself. Like it's not just because they can support each other this way. Like I believe you have many bright ideas that you can create something more like, I don't know, bigger structure of it, or some organized knowledge or information that you have. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to say. So pretty much everything is balanced. Like there is no really something that I really like. There is no stagnation. So
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you for sharing. It's I highly appreciate it. Okay,
Thank
Brenda.
you so much.
Thank you, Chad. So Brenda, okay. Let's see, Brenda. today there is so much blue color on your drawing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. There is a lot of water. And water is, as an element water, it has two qualities. One is wisdom. Another side is a fear. So see if there is a, where you are between them. Like we always have both of them. Sometimes it's a fear dominant and we have no idea what we are wise about, but how we can integrate both of them and how we can really find the support from both of them, because fear is a survival mechanism. It's very important as well. So it's, I love that there is nothing really stagnated. A little, okay, so see, wait. Even like all these red colors, there is like flames of red, but there is a, you reach out to the edge of the paper. There is nothing really suppressed. So this is a very good, that there is a dynamic in the red. So it's, red can be about anger, but it's about passion as well. It's like you have this quality like boiling water, like there is something starts boiling in you. So there is some something, just make sure that it's a creative resolution, that you really create something, because there is like, when we have so much boil, the temptation is that it will just steam out and wasting. So just make sure that there is some kind of guidance for it. So what else? Beautiful lines. Wait. So I noticed that you're very gentle with conflict resolving. Like there is a little bit teeny tiny roundings. Be a little bit more generous when you're facing conflict. It's okay to invest a little bit more energy in it. Not too much, but like don't really try to like, okay, so I do a little bit and it will be enough, because in most cases it's not enough. You see, like you have beautiful teeny tiny roundings, but if you will create a little bit more roundings, like a little bit bolder, you will have this more connections to this process, to other lines. So pay attention to roundings. Okay, I already said that beautiful lines. And okay, again, and the same, see how yellow, there is only one element, like actually two. There is a yellow and orange element that a little bit suppressed on your drawing, like teeny tiny. So if you have any idea that you, maybe it's a very new, very teeny tiny idea, see if how you can grow it, how you can, because there's so much behind it, like it's really layers. And you even highlighted the circle there, like there's orange, red, yellow, and blue, and like there's so much colors in the same situation. So see what is the idea is trying to be born, because it's just like when I look, the whole energy, like my attention goes there. So see. See if you want to support with a yellow color a little bit more on sides. You have yellow on the bottom, on the top, but maybe you can bring even more yellow on that side to the circle, just as a support. Maybe some information, maybe it will be not directly connected, but somehow it will make more sense to what your idea is growing. Okay. I think that's all I want to say for now. So yeah, a little bit more generous with roundings, because I believe you're a gentle person, but maybe we need to be a little bit more persistent. Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you, Brenda.
I only want to say that when I was painting it, doing this, I was so hot. I was sweating. I was like,
energy, a lot of energy.
Flashes. Yeah.
Yeah, this is very interesting how we sometimes we're doing art and so much energy activated in the body, how we can really move the energy. And as you see the red color that is going as a flame through your drawing, this is really something activated, the energy, the passion, that some emotions, like very strong emotions, motivations. Red is representing interest, not just curiosity, but interest, how you can invest more energy and information and time in discovering something bigger. Like you have something, you resonate with this, like, okay, so yes, I feel this is mine, and how you can be more related to it, how you can learn more about something. So it's a very interesting how it's like body activated. That's why I'm always repeating, like, how's your body feeling, any sensations, any emotions. We are so feeling right here, like we're stuck in our mind, and how we can bring attention to our body, how we can be connected to our body and emotions at the same time. So thanks a lot for sharing this experience. Okay, Mildred, do you want to show yours?
Okay, this is,
Okay, it's
can
a
you see
blue and what's it? Blue and purple.
Yeah.
First of all, very beautiful roundings, like perfect. Like you do it like pro. Very beautiful really beautiful lines, beautiful roundings. Like you should be very organic in resolving conflicts. Like you would be a very good negotiator. And it's interesting. Usually, it's, first of all, you need to be aware of conflicts. You need to recognize them very well. So, and you know the tools how to resolve them. Like somehow it's a very beautiful. I love how different thickness of your lines. Like really, some of them are very bold, very thick, and some of them very gentle. So you could be interesting in communications. Very interesting. Can you move a little bit so I can see the other side? Yeah, I love the blue, gentle blue. Like it's overall, it's a very gentle drawing. Like lines are very bold, but emotional component of it is a very gentle. You can be very, you know what, like you express what you want. I would say quite clearly. There is no really some challenges in the lines, but emotionally, you're a very gentle person. You don't really very, you know, so sometimes we look at the drawings like a very bold drawing, like very bold colors, but you're very gentle in emotional state. Let's see. I believe you will still drawing more. Is there any element that you want to highlight right now? Like what you want to?
The what's in purple is basically kind of like oval shaped. All the different circles within that oval.
Okay, okay. So it's a very big, big element that you want to highlight. See, there could be some other colors in it. So because, and I want to point, like there is some loop or like
some blue, because the outside I just wanted to do in blue tones. I'm trying to see if you, okay, there we go.
Okay, yes. So there is some loop that's not connected to anything. So make sure that you expand with the line to the edge of the paper. Make sure that it's not left alone. You see there is on the bottom right corner, bottom right corner, there is some loop that just by itself doesn't go anywhere. So you can expand it. when you start coloring, like there is a purple inside oval that you want to highlight, and you start coloring blue outside, make sure that the purple is not isolated, that there is some flow of energy to it. Like could be purple is always about bigger meanings, bigger connections, spirituality, some better understanding of different levels. Make sure that there is not isolated. So make sure that there is some energy coming and going, so that it could be not the big flow, but a little bit, at least a little bit streams of color that are come and go. Yeah. The blue, interesting. See how you tried to highlight each segment within the flow.
Yeah.
Don't separate, like if you have the flow, allow this as a flow just moving. Don't try to separate on a different segments, because it's very beautiful, but the meaning is that you can go like too much in details. Don't go too much in details. Like if you see the bigger meaning, it's good. Don't try to to cut it. And I know that sometimes we try to like if something is so profound, we want to cut it so it's easier for us to digest, but sometimes we're losing the bigger understanding from it. So it's I love the blue flow, like really very beautiful, very gentle. Yeah, I'm like, will be very interesting to see how it will be colored at the end, because right now it's a very, I just enjoyed this look at lines. Like lines are very interesting and very organic. Okay, ladies, I think that's all for today. Thank you for sharing. It's a very beautiful experience. Wait, Brenda, I muted you for some. Wait, you need to turn on if you want to say something.
Thank you.
I wanted to know, what do you do with these drawings?
You keep them. If you, I have a like huge stack of them. They represent your progress. And even if you don't like perfectly your drawing right now, keep them, because in certain time you will come back and see like, oh my gosh, I forgot that I was in this state. Like there was so much isolation and challenges in my life, and how I can experience this differently now. It's a confirmation that you are developing, that you are following your path. You can give them as a present if you want, but be aware, like we have this emotional charge at the beginning, something that we are not satisfied. If by the end of your drawing you have this huge transformation in you, like, oh my gosh, I love this drawing, I have this profound experiences, I feel connected to the universe, everything is supporting me, this is the good intention and good emotions to give as a present. If you like at the beginning you're like, oh my gosh, I have such a relationship and so much horrible, and by the end like, oh, it's still be a mess, don't give such presents. You give your emotional charge, and it will be intentions that you're giving. So and another thing that, like, if you don't have this powerful experience by the end, it usually just represents that the drawing is not done yet, it's not finished yet. There is some element that you may add later. Some of my drawings I was working for 9 months. It's just was sitting and like, okay, so there's something wrong with this drawing. I knew something wrong with this drawing, and I come back and look at this, and come back and look at this, and I added something and come back later. So I did like several layers of transformation until I finished in like, wow, it's this drawing that I love, this drawing that gives me support and many, many discoveries about myself. And in this case, I can give it as a present, and I can, unless I want to keep it for myself. So see, there is no rituals like, oh, burn your drawings or just throw away. It's investment. You invested so much time and energy in it. So I would just, I keep my own drawings. I have maybe already over thousands, and it's
wow. I just want to tell you that my drawing here, I had drawn angel wings.
Mm-hmm.
So
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's, again, when we see some visions on our drawings, it's really, it's your vision. It's what you resonate with or not resonate. So it's like metaphoric cards. Like, it's only you who can give the best interpretation, because it's your subconsciousness gives the interpretation. It's message for you, not for anybody. As an instructor, I look what can be, if there is any patterns that can be changed, or if there is any stagnated energy that can be addressed as well. So I try to not give like interpretation, oh, you have a beautiful heart here, this may represent this and this for you. So it's a very fine line between what is the interpretation really can give. Like sometimes I'm carried away when I feel connected to the drawing. But the most important, what you see in the drawing, what you experience during the process. So thanks a lot. I hope to see you soon, wherever you decide, like if you want to join our Facebook group. It's a beautiful group to be connected. There are some recordings on YouTube channel, that classes that I hosted. And of course, everybody is invited to our basic user level course. It is more understanding and more background behind what we are doing, like more meanings to what we're doing. So thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, and have a great day or
Thank
night
you.
on your
Bye.
side of the planet.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.